Hey guys, we are finally back after a much longer than planned break. I was only supposed to be away for a couple of days, somehow that turned into nearly a month. Not sure what happened, but here we are. Today I'll be showing you how to make this super cute and super tasty looking donut tunnel toy. This is suitable for all kinds of small rodents. Don't be fooled by the tiny size of the one in the video. I'll be showing you how you can make a bigger one for bigger animals. Whether you have a Syrian hamster, a dwarf, a mouse, a rat, whatever kind of small pet, you should be able to make this for them pretty easily. To begin, you'll need a tube that is large enough for your animal to fit in. Don't worry if you can't find one, I'm going to show you how to make one in just a moment. But right now I'm using a toilet tissue tube. These are suitably sized for dwarf hamsters, mice, and smaller Syrians. We're going to be cutting slits along the tube, and to make it easier to cut these slits in a straight line, what I recommend doing is making marks all the way around the tube at equal points. I've done mine 1 centimeter apart, and I've gone all the way around the tube and then joined them together to create a kind of stripy effect. I've also marked out what I'm going to refer to as a spine for the tube. It'll make sense in a moment. Again, this is about 1 centimeter in thickness and runs in the opposite direction to the other stripes along the full length of the tube. Next, you'll need to take some kind of cutting tool, whether that's a craft knife, a pair of scissors, whatever, and you need to cut along those lines, but making sure, most importantly, that you don't cut through the spine. When you finish cutting, you'll be left with a kind of cardboard slinky type thing, and now you can see why the spine was so important. That is what's holding everything together, hence calling it a spine. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly show you how to make a larger version of this for larger animals, Syrian hamsters and bigger. You're going to need a piece of cardboard. I'm just using regular children's craft card, and while I am using an A4 sized piece to demonstrate this, I would actually recommend using something that was A3 sized. Just like before, we're going to be drawing guidelines that are spaced 1 centimeter apart, but this time instead of the spine being in the center of the cardboard, it's going to be at the two long ends. So if you notice here at the top and the bottom, I have reserved these as the spine, so make sure you do not cut all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom of the card. Now you'll just need to roll the cardboard up lengthways and glue the two spines together. Once the glue's finished drying, you'll have the exact same cardboard slinky-like thing held together with that little spine of card. And whether you're using a smaller tube or a larger tube, all of the following steps are exactly the same for both. Bend your tube into a circular, or I suppose donut shape, making sure the spine is in the middle. This should be very, very easy to do without damaging the cardboard. Glue the two ends together with a little bit of PVA and then set it aside to dry. When the glue has finished drying, it's time to move on to the paper mache. This is the most important part because this is what's going to give the donut its final shape. The glue we're using for the paper mache is very easy to make and also completely non-toxic, so it's perfectly safe for your pet to chew on this toy when it's finished. All you need to do is mix 1 part water with 1 part flour. Now you can leave it like this and use it like this if you want, but if you'd like to make something that is a little stronger, it's a little more of a firm finish to the final product, I recommend heating the flour and water mix in a pan until it becomes more of a paste. Like I say, it is optional, but it will give you a slightly better finished product. Now it's time to cover the entire frame of the donut in paper mache, which means you need some bits of ripped up tissue paper, and you can either dip them into the paste or you can do what I did, which is apply it with a brush. I just find this to be a little easier, and I also find that it prevents the frame from getting too wet and sometimes a little bit unstable. I will warn you, this step takes a very long time, and I also recommend doing this layer by layer, so doing 1 layer, letting it dry fully, then doing another layer, letting that dry fully, and then doing a 3rd and possibly even a 4th layer. You're going to want to keep building up the layers until you can no longer see the frame underneath, and it's also a good idea to pop a little bit of paper mache on the inside. Now, before someone asks about whether or not you could dry each layer in the oven, personally I've not tried to do that. You could definitely give it a go. I don't see why it wouldn't work, but given that I haven't tried it, I can't personally vouch for it. So if you're gonna do that, just know that it's on your own head if it goes wrong. Oh, and before I forget, a really important point, don't forget to leave a gap in the donut so that your animal can actually enter and exit it. Now hopefully once your donut has been given enough time to completely dry and harden, it should look like this. The final step is to use some pet-safe paints to add colour and bring this thing to life. Now there's lots of different pet-safe paints out there that you can use. Soy paint is a great option, also natural food dyes, another great option, and some people like to use non-toxic children's paint. Now I would personally say if you know you're going to be giving this to an excessive chewer, I would err on the side of caution and use natural food dyes to colour it, just to be on the safe side. Once the paint's finished drying, the final product should look something like this, though of course you might have decided to do a completely different frosting choice. Maybe you didn't add frosting to your donut at all. I went for the kind of traditional cartoony pink icing with sprinkles look. I don't know, I just thought it looked kind of cute. As you can see, Osmium took to this toy quite quickly. She seemed to really like it. And not only is it just a fun, different kind of tunnel to have in your cage, but it can also act as a little hideaway as well. I really hope you guys enjoyed this fun little DIY, and if you do decide to make it yourself, please don't forget to tag me in photos of it. You can tag me on Twitter or on Instagram. I love seeing when you guys recreate DIYs, so please show me your pictures. In the meantime, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. You can also share the video with your friends and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, and one more thing. I hope you enjoy the new end screen. It took a little while, but I think it's adorable, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!